If you are scrolling and came across this video because you should be doing something else, if you are avoiding that daunting duty or that tedious task, looking for a distraction and you found me, you are procrastinating, my friend. And guess what? You are just like 100% of the rest of the human population. What is procrastination? How do we stop doing it? And more importantly, how can we actually leverage it to do better performance? Well, guess what? That's what we're going to be talking about in this episode of the Weekly Momentum Shift. What's up, my friends? JT DeBolt with you today for the Weekly Momentum Shift, your weekly kick in the ass to help you boost your performance and accomplish all of your missions in business and in life. This is a hilarious, ironic situation that we're in. Just last week, I had mapped out all of the topics that I was going to do for this, the Weekly Momentum Shift, as well as the True Driven podcast. Put them up on my whiteboard, had the whole plan set in place, and it was going to be great. Then the week got real heavy, had lots of calls, had lots of trainings, and had lots of things I had to get done, including this past weekend leading a 3-day workshop for some badass entrepreneurs. It was a lot to do, a lot to cover over the course of a week, and I arrived here on Monday pretty tired, to be honest with you, and just sort of sitting here going, man, what in the heck am I going to do? And I was doing like what a lot of you do. I'm moving papers around on my desk and doing all the busy work, and I look up at the sheet, look up at the list of the topics of videos that I had to shoot, and what was staring back at me but today's video with the topic of how to stop procrastinating. So here we are, dealing with it, in person, live, in the moment. At the very core, procrastination is simply not doing the thing you know you need to be doing. Super simple, right? And the more simple we can make things, the more easy we can understand them. The more easy we can understand them, the more we can work with them. A lot of times people have the misconception that procrastination is somehow the disease of the lazy or the affliction of the apathetic, if you will. Nothing could be further from the truth in most cases. It's pretty doubtful that you're lazy if you're watching this kind of a video. But here's the reality. It is the thing that's holding you back from doing the thing you know you need to do. It doesn't mean that you don't want it bad enough. It doesn't mean that you're not working hard enough. In fact, that whole bullshit notion that was washed over from the hustle your face off culture is pretty much dead and gone. We don't need to work with that anymore. Instead, we need to look at it for what it is. Mel Robbins, author of the book, The 5-Second Rule, has a really great way of looking at it that I appreciate. She says that procrastination is nothing more than a habit. The reason I love that is if you really think about a habit is something that you can break, something that you can build, and something that you can reinforce. Because of that, that means we actually have power over this, and we can work with it, and we can actually get past procrastination. So what is it? In order for us to be able to get past procrastination, we have to understand it. At its basic core, all it is a fear-based response to really being overwhelmed. You got a lot on your plate. Hey, if you're a leader, which I know you are, you got a lot going on right now. You have a lot of responsibilities and a lot of people that you have to help, serve, and lead. And so with that said, it's a lot on your plate, and you can start to go into decision overload and decision fatigue. One of the most important things you have to understand is that if you're procrastinating, it's typically for a couple of different reasons. One, the task is super overwhelming, right? It's daunting. It's something big. It's something important. It's something that requires a lot of you. Or maybe it's a really small task. It just happens to be super tedious and not too much fun. It might also be something that you know you have to do, but you don't necessarily know if you can fulfill it. Follow up and do the thing you know you need to do. This happens a lot, especially for you true drivens out there that are pursuing this life of personal excellence. That means you're pushing the edge of the envelope, you're getting yourself out of that comfort zone, and you're doing the hard stuff. But with that comes that sense of, can I actually do this? So let's talk about how to deal with procrastination based just on those situations. The first thing you have to realize, if you're doing something big and daunting, of course, that's going to give you a sense of overwhelm, and naturally, procrastination is going to come and tap on your shoulder. So, most important thing you can do with those big tasks is to use the KISS principle. Keep it super simple. Break it down into simple tasks, break it down into simple chunks, and take it one by one. Just the act of doing that, in fact, just the act of looking at a big task and breaking it down, is you breaking that curse or breaking that habit of procrastination. Most important thing is to see it as the habit and know you can start breaking it in the moment right here, right now. Right here, right now being the most important part, because you can't procrastinate on something in the past. Now, maybe in the past you did procrastinate, but you can't go back and procrastinate on it in the past. Make sense? You can't procrastinate on something that is going to happen in the future. That has to happen in the future. The only thing you can do with procrastination is in this moment, which means in this moment you can make the choice and the decision to pivot, plant your foot in the ground and go a different direction. Instead of sitting here in the scroll, you get moving, taking action on the thing you know you need to do. If it is something that is tedious, boring, unpleasant, not fun, something that sucks, you're just going to have to embrace the suck. That's what we do as leaders. We do the stuff that isn't fun, that isn't pleasant. That differentiates us from all the other people who are constantly looking for something to be awesome, fun, pleasant, or comfortable. Right now, we live in a society who is completely inundated by the dopamine effect. We live in the dopamine machine, if you want to think of it that way. 24/7, 365, we have access to cheap dopamine, which means we're constantly looking for stimulus, constantly looking for entertainment, constantly looking to feel good. Well, guess what? This is your opportunity to break that habit as well and to lean in and do the thing that sucks, do the thing that's tedious, do the thing that might feel unrewarding, do the thing that you're probably not going to get congratulated for, but the thing you know you need to do. But if it is something that you're doing that is big, that does move the needle big time for your business or your organization or your team, and you're having that sense of self-doubt, just know this. That is part of the recipe, my friend. That is exactly what we sign up for when we push the edge of the envelope for personal excellence. We're looking to do the thing that tests our mettle, the thing that pushes us in our capabilities. So if you're up against something and you're procrastinating because you're afraid you're going to suck at it, or you're afraid that you may not fulfill it or follow through on it, just know this: the only way you will ever know that is if you take action on it. If you don't, and the longer you procrastinate, you are only fulfilling that prophecy. Don't do that. The habit of holding back in the moment is something that can be broken. The way to break that is to shorten the distance between inspiration and action. The moment you know you should do something and the moment you take that action, the distance between those two stimuli, that stimulus and that action, that's the difference in high performers and everybody else. So start building that muscle by building that habit of doing the thing in the moment you know you need to do it. I can't tell you how much time I sat here in this office putting off making this video for you. But then I thought about it, man, the only thing I'm doing is stopping the idea of helping another person, helping you, which is unfair to you, and it doesn't make any sense for me because that's just not my character. And that's when I had a quick chuckle about it, turned on the camera, and here we are. Just know that if you're procrastinating, you're just putting off the inevitable. Eventually, you're going to have to get around to the thing anyway, so you may as well do it now. Do it while you're still fresh. Do it while you still have a sense of that confidence and that ability to get after it. But more importantly, do it so that you have the ability to get past that thing and move on to the next one. Procrastination is not a disease. It doesn't make you unfit for success. It doesn't mean you don't want it bad enough. So stop that tape playing in your head and that unnecessary kind of self-defeat talk. What you really want to be doing is giving yourself that encouragement to just get in and do the thing. Roll up your sleeves, get the job done, and move on. That is what you have the capability of doing. That's what you have the opportunity to do right here, right now. So stop watching this video. But before you do, if you got some value from this, make sure you share it with somebody else who could use this message to get out of their own procrastination. And make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube, youtube.com/JTDeBolt, so that you can be the first to know and stay in the know when I bring new content to you here with the Weekly Momentum Shift and the True Driven Podcast. And remember, no matter what course you fly in life, fly high, fly fast, and fly far, stay driven, get back to work.